We begin. Hello and welcome back to another episode of Into the 99, where we've got 99 cards, cause Commander's number one. I've got the gang with me. They're all here. I got Sherman and Slothy. Sherman, how you doing this week?
It's so cold. It's so cold.
It is very cold. The up and down, for us, it's been like a 30-degree weather swing. It's like plus 10, minus 30, plus 10, plus 8, minus 20. It's not great.
Yeah, like my migraines are going insane. So like I open the door to let the dogs out. They take like two steps and they're like, nope, coming back in. We don't care. It's like,
That's someone else's problem. That's really funny. Yeah, the weather out
well,
here has
like,
been kind of crazy.
yeah. Yeah, the weather's been really, really crazy. But other than that, like like you have a bunch of stories because like the weather like a couple of days ago was insane because like the visibility was zero for you.
Yeah, I was showing. So there's a really bad like blizzard snowstorm kind of thing here, and there was a big 80 to 100 car pileup. They still don't even know how many people were in this, and in the middle of all this, I'm just on the road, and I'm sitting there. If anyone who knows me, I listen to like a lot of really different music. Like I like EDM, I like metal, I like musicals a lot. So I like a lot of different stuff. So I'm like sitting there on this like middle of like dying road, and I just got like Has Been Hotel soundtrack cranked and stuff. Can't see a thing. Can't see a thing like at all and stuff. So there was a pileup directly behind me, like maybe a minute after I went through something. Like I almost hit people like because they were slamming their brakes. So I decided I'm not going fast. I'm just giving a bunch of room. And so I was driving pretty relaxed. But right behind me, maybe like I said, minutes later, there's a big pileup. So the highway got closed behind me, and then the police were like setting up barricades to close the highway down because like it wasn't safe to drive on. And they like tried to wave me over, and I didn't want to stop because I wanted to get home. So I just like waved at them and drove around their barricade. And they don't have the manpower to chase you in a blizzard like that. So I just kind of kept going. So there was a while that I was able to just keep going on the road, and it was only me, and only me on the like on 6 lanes of highway in the middle of the daytime is really weird. It's very strange. But yeah, there was like I sent a bunch of videos of just like you couldn't see like the lines on the road. You could see maybe to one in front of you, and sometimes you couldn't even see the hood mirrors on my truck. It was quite the drive. It took me normally something that takes 3 hours to drive took 6.5. So yeah, it was kind of fun. But other than that, no, it was a good week minus that part. It was pretty great. And Slothy.
It's been an all right week. Not overly enjoying being out in this cold. I was outside kind of right as that blizzard was kicking, so I was taking all of that blowing snow directly to the face. Which was super neat. But hasn't been too bad. It's yeah, been busy.
The thing that was like so weird about this like blizzard, it was half rain. So it was coming down like
Mhm.
rain and like hitting your window and you like it was raining. So if you were outside, you were soaking wet, and that sucked a lot. And if you were driving, you were getting rained on, but it was like -5, so it was like insta freezing on the ground. It wasn't wonderful and stuff. I'm glad like I went out, I got to play a little bit of Magic on my days off, which was great. So I'm glad I wasn't doing that during it because I can only imagine like carrying like deck boxes around, and they're just getting soaked with water, and I'm just losing my mind trying to throw people out of the way into the game. So get out, please. You know. Um, we're as a quick update, we're on the Christmas break next year. Next Not next year, yeah, whole year off. No, next week we're gonna do the holiday break. So Christmas for everything. So I hope everyone is having good holiday seasons. We're gonna be off next week. I promise you, we're not here. There's no secret episode to be found. We gotta have a little break at some point, sleep. But we wanted to get into uh, end of the year, I love to do our favorite cards because I usually have a lot of favorite cards. I don't have a lot, but there's I usually have a ton of favorite cards, and even if I don't, I still like to find. A, I see a lot of cool decks that are not things I would build, so I like finding out people's favorites. So drop in any comment section what your favorite card is, why, and maybe I'll do another giveaway with House of Cards on it. We'll figure that one out. But we're gonna jump into our favorite cards of the year, and if you want any of them, go over to houseofcards.ca, promo code IT99. You're gonna get a discount. It's gonna be fast. Maybe not Christmas time. They're still pretty fast, but you kind of get what you get it with shipping at this time. And if you want cool things to display these cards in and on, Nerd Gear. That's your playmats. That's your playmat sanctuary. That's your nice little display case for them, which is wonderful. Don't put them on the table like an animal. And good sleeves for them. So yeah, also promo code IT99. And just thank you everyone for being here with us throughout all of the year. And with that, let's jump into our favorite cards. Who would like to start? Not everyone all at once, please.
Well,
You know what, Slothy, you go first. Go nuts.
oh, sure. Um, yeah, so I kind of tried to pick something from every set this year, and kind of like Dan, I was having a little bit of trouble kind of deciding. But I'll start off with Aether Drift with Packdoll Terror. 3 to black for a 3/4 artifact creature toy. Whenever this creature or another artifact you control enters, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. So this is kind of fun for all those treasure decks, and I also got into the Pauper format this year, kind of right after this came out, so it was kind of right there, and I really, really, really do enjoy this card.
That's fair. It's it's not a bad one. It's common.
Yeah,
There's
and the
a
art on it's kind of funky too.
there's a bunch of lands in the year that were pretty good. Also, that's how bad a bunch of mine was. That it was a bunch of the lands like the new Terramorphic Expanse lands, the Dragon Eye lands. I was like, man, these are pretty cool. I had a bit of a rough time, but there was some really good commons and uncommons this year. I will give it that.
Hmm.
Sherman, you want to go next here?
All right. Let's see here. You know what? Let's keep with the Aether Drift. I really, really, really wanted to try this one out because it had a new mechanic in it, and you know what? I really, really enjoyed it. Uh, Daniel, you gotta see this in action a little bit when we were at the face-to-face event. But it is Samut, the Driving Force. So for 3 and a red, green, white, it's a legendary creature, human warrior cleric. It has it's a 4/5. Has first strike, vigilance, and haste, and has start your engines. One of the I have to say, start your engines. Stupid mechanic. I hate it. I hate it. But in this deck, it's actually really fun. So, other creatures you control get +X+0, where X is your speed. Non-creature spells you cast cost X less to cast, where X is your speed. This is insane because, like, the fact that you're basically casting like a bunch of like non-creature spells for free if you have a bunch of artifacts in your hand is really, really, really easy. um like you can switch it up and go with like equipments instead if you want. Like your guys just get really big really fast because you have uh the start your engines mechanic here. And you start off with like a bunch of mana dorks so you can get in that ship damage, and you find that you get your max speed really easily. But it's a fun deck, and yeah, it you can build it on a cheap. You can build it real budget, but you can ramp it up. Like I've ramped it up slowly. It started off with like a $90 deck. Now it's like close to 200.
The
So
does max speed leave as a mechanic? I can't remember. I remember getting hit with this hard, but does max speed leave once you have it?
no,
Yeah,
it never leaves. One like there's I think there's like maybe one card that reduces your speed by like 1, but once you hit max speed, you keep it constantly.
yeah. So again, like because I played against this out at the face to face event, and you were dumping out huge creatures so easy because if you have If max speed max is 4, right? Non-creature spells you cast that are X less, where X is your speed, is very big to like pump out spells.
Yeah, and when you're casting things like what it White Sun Zenith,
Hmm.
let's say, right, where you're creating a bunch of cats, you have max speed. Well, like it's already paying for 4 cats,
Yep.
and there's supposed to be 2 tooth, but if you have Samud out, there's 6 tooth. It's just stupid.
Well, the other thing too is that you can dump down a overwhelming stampede at 2 green mana, right? Like with a deck like that.
Yeah, you can drop that down. You can drop so many things for the cheap, just because like you're reducing it by 4. 4 is a lot of mana.
Right? I will join you guys with one of the few things I liked in Aether Drift, and it is Mendicant Core Guidelight. Mendicant is an awesome card. I really, really like playing this. Like I've got a really cool budget deck. I like copying artifacts a lot. It's fun. So Mendicant is 1 white, 1 blue for a star 3 artifact robot. Power and toughness equal to the number of artifacts you control. Cool. It also has the start your engines, which I uh I was able to get around with Thopters in the deck. There's a lot of things that make the little Thopters, as a lot of artifact decks do. But when you have max speed, whenever you cast an artifact, you can pay 1, and if you do copy it, the copy becomes a token. That's super, super powerful, and it's really, really fun to play Mendicant. Like I've got like a cool budget version of the deck that, just like the Urza, like Prince of Krug decks, spits out so many silly artifact tokens that are just wonderful to be able to turn into stuff. It takes advantage of a lot of cool stuff. So I there's nothing crazy janky in it, like combos that like Mycosynth Lattice turn everything into it, but I just do have a lot of fun playing this every time. I find getting max speed very easy in it as well. Slothy.
Sure. Yeah, next up is pick I've got from Tarkir, Dragonstorm. And a few years ago, a card called Cankerbloom came out, and that card was awesome. Did a lot of really neat utility things, and we got one not as good, but I like it as well. We've got Undergrowth Leopard. It's 1 and a green for a 2/2 cat with vigilance, and you can pay 1 and sacrifice it to destroy target artifact or enchantment. Artifact, it's particularly for that enchantment part because that's a little bit harder to find, and there are quite a few problematic enchantments coming through. And I really like the utility of it. You can pay 2, it's not a tap ability.
Yeah.
Um, and you can just kind of get rid of that pesky Ristic Study or anything like that.
2/2 vigilance is not bad either.
No.
Power creep.
Wow.
Wow.
Only 2 mana, a 2/2 2 mana vigilance that can destroy something is really really strong, and like the fact that it's common
Mhm.
is really nice.
Yeah.
Like I think more people should try to play like with creatures like this, just because like it's nice to have like an instant speed like naturalize or a wilt or something like that. But at the same time,
Mhm.
like creatures are are like things that are there just in case, like, oh, I can block and then I'll sacrifice it to destroy something, at a crackback in a sense.
Yeah, exactly.
It's also very easy to forget it's on board.
Yeah. Yeah, he's not
Yeah.
super flashy. He's just kind of sitting there doing his thing. Then all of a sudden you're 2 for 1ing blocking something and then getting rid of another thing.
Getting banned from the table because you keep saying Mao and blowing up their cards. But you got to do with every cat card.
Oh, exactly.
All right. I'm gonna jump us around here. So I'm gonna go with something here. We did the deck tech for it. I was excited for it when they spoiled it. So it like the deck tech release for this was like 3 or 4 months ahead of when everything came out. That's gonna be FIFA Martial Artist for a 1 in a red, green and white. So another Naya commander. Yeah, I know. I was told to play less blue this year. Okay, leave me
I
alone.
was going to say
And you certainly did.
this is personal growth for Sherman.
I miss blue, so I gotta find other ways to play. Okay. But Tifa, like, first off, like Tifa's like one of my favorite characters in Final Fantasy. So like she's fantastic. And like I said, like when it was spoiled, I'm just like, I don't care if it's like a fake card or not. I'm hoping it's a real card. I'm just gonna build it and hope for the best. But it is a cost commander, legendary creature, human monk, has melee. Aha! I remember this time. Whenever one or more creatures you control with power 7 or greater deals combat damage to a player, untap all creatures you control. If it's the first combat phase of your turn, there is an additional combat phase after this phase. So you're pumping out like multiple combats, which I normally don't do, but in this case, why not?
Tifa's a monster, yeah.
Hmm.
I like it though. That's again, it's fun to see things like I will say I didn't do much evolving as a player this year. I'm still kind of on my same budget silliness, but it's very nice to see both Sherman and Slothy this year like trying out a lot of new like styles, which was really cool. The like specifically, I really like these aren't cards from the year, but I really liked Slothy's like sacrifice based deck. That thing hits like a truck, and
Hmm.
then the same thing. Just a bunch of the stuff Sherman came out with, like the Samet, like that was super fun. The Tifa's super fun, super cool. So it was nice to see a bunch of new ones. I'm a simple man. My next favorite card is March of the World Ooze. Again, it's one of the other only good cards from Aether Drift, and it's so cool. 3 triple green. Enchantment. Creatures you control have base power toughness 6/6 and are oozes in addition to their other type. Awesome. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, if it's not their turn, you create a 3/3 green elephant creature token. In Commander, especially in like spell slingy kind of Commander games, people don't really pack enchantment removal. So I've found that this has really overperformed a lot of the time. You ramp, I get elephants. You want to storm off, I'm going to get like 20 of these elephants that are now 3/3 green elephant oozes that are also 6/6s. Yeah. Awesome. I love this card. Frank gave me this card.
It's a really interesting card for 6 mana. It does a lot of work, especially late game, right? Because like people are just casting spells willy nilly, right?
Hmm.
So,
Well, again,
and the
just
fact that when this, sorry,
I was gonna say, I drop it down. It's one of my finishers in a bunch of decks like Rigo, where of course it's in Rigo, everything is. But like I've got a bunch of these like zero cost things, and you don't care. And suddenly, like Gilded Goose, Birds of Paradise, you're getting cracked with these 6/6 flyers out of nowhere, and you're like, whoa, what? Love it.
How would this be in Shrufus?
Oh yeah, same thing. Monster card,
Yeah.
monster card.
Oh yeah.
All your saplings just suddenly 6/6s. Yeah,
6/6 saplings. Anytime one of them connects, you're making six more.
yeah. That you know what? We're just tongue twisting ourselves with 6/6 Shrufus Saprolines summons 6 more Saprolines. Say 10 times fast, please.
Oh no.
Slothy, what do you got next?
Alrighty. Moving on to Final Fantasy here. This was by far my favorite set of the year. Um, and I've got 4 cards from here made my top 10. So we'll start off with Black Mage's Rod. 1 and a black for an equipment with job select. When this equipment enters, you create a 1/1 hero and then attach this to it. Equipped creature gets +1/+0, and uh, whenever you cast a non-creature spell, this creature deals 1 damage to each opponent and is a wizard in addition to its other types and equipped for 3.
I loved those
There
little
were
pinging wizards.
oh yeah, I built several decks just around those, and
yeah,
this
like you
particularly
had the Black Waltz number 3 deck
oh
now.
yeah, oh yeah, that one's
Yeah,
coming.
Oh, he's it coming.
um This this set had a lot of things that were really nice for the Valgavoth deck that I've got.
That's fair. What do you got for us, Sherman?
for the next one, I'm trying to debate what to do, but you know what? Let's do this one. So been a lot of more token strategies kicking out lately. So this is kind of something that I really liked. It's from the Spider-Man set. I know a lot of people didn't like it, but that's beside the point. I don't care. but it is a black card. It is board wipe. It's called Villainous Wrath. So for Villainous Wrath, it's a 3 double black sorcery. Target opponent loses life equal to the number of creatures they control. Then destroy all creatures. So when Daniel's playing things like, getting things like a bunch of oozes, I don't mind. I will actually encourage it. I will help him with it. Because in the end, you're gonna take a bunch of
I
damage.
was
And if you're playing an aristocrats deck and you need a board wipe, this is a nice board wipe. Sure, it's 5, but you're also like forcing someone to like maybe lose the game if they're playing a token strategy.
Yep. Well, this is again,
Mhm.
this is a surefire way to kill me in pretty much every deck. We're 2 cards deep onto my list, and I'm like, I love to make copies of artifacts, and a lot of those are creatures and mirrors. And then March of the World Ooze, where I'm like, I like to make a lot of tokens, and it's a surefire way to kill me. And I'd say 80% of the decks I play is just because I'm not doing anything other than sitting there stacking the board. Like, that's how you kill me in
Mhm.
Toxtrol when I have 100 slugs and don't swing out.
And and the thing is, like, I've had people say like, "Oh, but it's a 5 mana wrath in black. Like, why would you care?" I'm like, well, if you're in mono black, most of your wraths that aren't expensive are gonna be around the 5 mana range, right? So like, if you want
Mhm.
like cheap board wipes, you're gonna have stuff like that. You're going to have like Massacre Girl or something like that. You're not gonna have a Damnation. Damnation's gonna be like $20. You're not
Mhm.
gonna have a Toxic Blue that's going to be a $10 card. It goes on and on and on, right?
Well, the other thing
This is
I
like,
w I was gonna say quickly, the other thing too is that, like Damnation, we're looking at 4 mana board wipes a lot of the time, right? You're saving a mana, but this is not just a board wipe. This is a board wipe and a kill spell, especially if you are playing against, like you said, if you are an Aristocrats player, it's a great way to get extra damage in, but it's a great way to kill a player first, and if I am a lot of times in an aristocrats deck, the threat is board wipe me and you'll die. I've got my blood artist, I got my whatever. But this, you'll just kill me. Target opponent loses life equal to the number of creatures they control. That happens before those creatures die. So I'm just dead before I get any of my death triggers, right? And if you split it that way, I would pay 2 mana for that spell, and then that leaves me 3 mana for a board wipe. So then I'm really ahead of the game.
Yeah.
and yeah, and it's like most of the time when I've played this, it's not uncommon for me to have someone lose like 8 life. So sometimes it'll be on the low end, like 4 or 5 life, but normally it's like 8 to 10, sometimes like even 20. So you're like dealing half their life damage just from this one wipe. And then your aristocrats can deal damage to everyone else, and then you're in the lead, and then you don't care.
This is an easy way to kill
Mhm.
me in a lot of games. Um, I liked pretty much almost exclusively cards from Tarkir this year. The There was a lot. Again, I like silly dragons. I like dragon things, but we won't start with the dragons that I like so far. I'm gonna drop in here this Cotus, the Fang Keeper. Cotus is one of my
Mhm.
favorite budget decks I've ever built because it's so obnoxious and they never should have stapled indestructible onto this commander. That's such a nonsensical thing to have given it. Cotus is one, a black, a green, a blue for a 2/1 zombie warrior that's indestructible. Great stats, phenomenal stats at 4. Whenever it deals combat damage to player, exile top X cards of the library, where X is the amount of damage you dealt, and then you can cast spells. You villainous wealth their deck on an indestructible commander. They never should have printed it, and it's one of the easiest ways to get through because you can just fill the deck with budget nonsense that is just like
Mhm.
slip through spaces or any of those kind of things, and you just get through. But there's a ton of auras that also give it trample, give it unblockable, give it death touch. So you can so easily just like roll over, like you put 10 blockers in and it's indestructible, right? The amount of hoops you have to jump through to kill Cotus is crazy because people don't really play a lot of exile with the exception of Path to Exile and Swords to Plowshare. And it's very easy to threaten people out of using those on me because I'm just like, well, you only have 2 of those. I'm just gonna attack you till you're dead now. It's Cotus is an awesome commander to play, and it was really really fun. I haven't played a game that I didn't enjoy, and I haven't played a game that
Mm.
anyone else did enjoy because you keep casting all their cards from their deck, and no one seems to like that. But I
You're
liked
just
it.
helping them see
Yeah.
how their deck plays out.
Yeah, I believe all the people I that I build with are wonderful deck builders, and I want to see for myself what they're playing. I wanna feel the power. I love
The
Codas.
problem with this commander, like my play group, Dustin, he played with this. He's taken it apart already just because it's so like you know it's so hard to deal with, and he just felt that like it wasn't fun because of that. Because once again, it's just indestructible that's on it,
It's
right?
very
Uh,
consistent.
Yeah, because it's indestructible. It's just like you can do whatever you want, and it's hard to remove it. Which is another reason why I keep on advocating that you should have more things like sacrifices or exiles in your decks because we're seeing this more and more often, and it's just one of those things. And when you slap it onto a commander, it's just almost game breaking. And the fact that you give it a villainous wealth at the same time is just kind of stupid.
This deck is a full loss to any like Grave Pact style deck. You're fully dead and done and gone to a deck like that. There's nothing you can do to that other than just start giving your friends enchantments on their creatures because the game's over for you. You know? It's a rough one. But
Yeah,
yeah,
pretty much.
yeah,
Yeah.
like
Mhm.
Codus does lose to like bounce strategies and stuff like that. If you are returning cards to hand, you got to do that. But it's as if you're looking for a fun like Voltron commander deck to put together that's very cheap, Codus to me takes the cake for the year. Like it's so good. What do you got for me, Slothy?
Ah, next one here. Hmm, let's do this one. Next up, we've got another utility card from um, Final Fantasy with Blitzball. 3 mana artifact. You can tap it for 1 mana of any color, or you can tap and sacrifice it to draw 2 cards. Activate only if an opponent was dealt combat damage by a legendary creature this turn. There are so many legendary creatures. You're getting your 2 cards out of this. It does have to tap, which is a little bit worse than something like a commander sphere, but you're getting double the cards, and everybody's playing with legendaries anyway because they staple it on to absolutely everything.
Yeah, everything is legendary right now.
So I think that you're going to be getting a lot of value out of this one.
Yeah, you seem to like a lot of the commons and uncommons for the year.
Yeah, it was kind of a little theme I had.
I like
I kind of looking back at this.
it. I like it. How
All
about you,
right.
Sherman?
Let let's go with this one. All right, let's go to Turk here. So I did not get this commander deck. I wanted to, but I didn't. So, but it is something I've seen a lot when I was at face to face event, just playing random people, and oh my goodness, the amount of times I've seen this. So it was Tival, the Balanced Gale. So it's one of the commander precons. It's a legendary creature, spirit dragon. It's a 4/4 flyer. Whenever Tival attacks, mill 3 cards. Then you may return a land card from your graveyard to the battlefield tap. That's already pretty awesome. But it has whenever one or more cards leave your graveyard, create a 2/2 black zombie druid creature token. That's the part that hurts. Like this commander when you have graveyard shenanigans, like doesn't even matter if you exile their graveyard. They just put more in on their turn, and they just repeat the whole process. And then next thing you know, you're facing down 30 like 2/2 zombie druids. So I'm just glad that they don't have haste half the time.
Taval is a very cool card. The let me I'll back to back jump into my next favorite card of the year, which is Other Taval. Because Other Taval is phenomenal. And generally speaking, I'm a greedy player. I don't like to throw anything away. I like to keep it all. I like to have everything that I possibly want. That's my graveyard, my life, a full hand of cards, a table full of friends, but that also doesn't happen a lot of the time. I so for me, Taval is such a weird way of playing because I don't really get rid of my cards, right? I don't exile my own stuff. I don't do any of that. But Taval was the flying lifelink, and just like the other one, you have to get rid of cards from your graveyard. So spells you cast have delve. Whenever you cast a spell, you lose life equal to its mana value. I really, really liked that end mechanic because it let me just basically full cycle through my deck in a race to pseudo kill myself. And I've had a great time playing that because no one knows how to threat assess when you're beating yourself up. It's the same thing. If you're out at a bar and there's a bar fight going on and one of the guys starts beating himself up, no one's like, yeah, get on that guy. Everyone's like, whoa, call an ambulance for this guy. He's losing his mind, right? So it's a super super fun way to play. I do have the other Taval on the deck, and it doesn't really work as a secondary commander for mine because my Taval gives the actual one. But just the both of them, the fact that one lets you turn your life total and graveyard into a cost reduction resource, and then the other one is just such a aggressive token deck. Like it makes your tokens, it auto brings itself back, it has self mill built into it. Like balance scale Taval is a monster card. It is very very strong, and it does really spit out a lot of those black zombie druids. And because they're druids, you can really go into another easy theme with all your Llanowar elves, and then your tap the arc Guilt Leaf Arch Druid, whatever it is, where you tap 5 or 6 or whatever druids and take all their lands. It's a pretty cool deck to build around. I've seen a lot of those ones.
Mm.
By the way, none of these, I don't think for any of us are in any order. They're just cards we like. They're just our favorite for the year.
Yeah.
We're just going willy nilly. Don't care.
Yeah, I thought we're just spitballing ideas here.
There's cards on our screen, and we're going to be talking about them.
Yeah, right. What do you got for us?
The next one I got here is going to be Overkill. I think this card is absolutely hilarious. It's 2 and a black for an instant. Target creature gets -0, -9,999 until end of turn. Um, there is some stuff you can do with, what is it, Jaws of Defeat with this, but
I was
it's just so funny to just give someone's commander such a negative. And
I was just gonna say because of this, Jaws of Defeat gets an honorary mention. So that's the whenever a creature you control enters target opponent loses life equal to the difference between that creature's power and toughness.
Mhm.
That's a rough thing to be able to. Yeah, you'll lose it all. Jaws of Defeat was a really cool card. Man, Tarkir had some cool stuff this year.
Yeah.
Put this in a maybe board. That's our honorary mention section. Sherman, what do you got?
All right. So let's go. You know what? Let's go to Team Avatar here for a second. All right. We have, for one of them that I have here, is going to be Gather the White Lotus. It's an uncommon. That's a 4 and a white, so it's 5 costs. It's a sorcery. Create a 1/1 white ally creature token for each planes you control. Then you scry 2. This is just fun, especially if you're playing a mono white. Like you just need board presence and like a bunch of blockers. Fine, pump these guys out in something where like sort of like I said, like a Samut deck where or you have like anthems or something. All these 1/1s just get buffed, and you get so many depending on how many planes you have, especially late game. It makes a huge difference. Like you just get an instant board presence, so it's really nice.
It's a big catch up too in a late game if you're just been board wiped and the game's reset.
Yeah,
Suddenly
absolutely.
Yeah,
suddenly you're
like
back up to 10
they're,
creatures.
yeah, like they're 1/1s, sure, but like there's so many like ally like synergies now that it's actually like kind of useful. So
Mhm.
Yeah, I got no problem with that one. I'll give you an Avatar one too because it's to me one of the best cards printed of the year. The Bender's Water Skin. That's like it's
Mm.
got to go in so many decks. Y- just the again 3 mana rock. I play a lot of 3 mana rocks already as budget options because they're great. Untap it during each other player's untap step, and you add 1 mana of any color. Um, I'm not so much of an instant sorcery kind of player. A lot of the times, I usually play just straight gasoline. But there's a lot of decks that this really, really just goes phenomenally in, and it is one of the
Mhm.
better 3 mana rocks printed recently.
Oh, absolutely.
especially if you have anything you can pay cost into every turn and it just keeps untapping. I really like this
Mhm.
one.
Yeah, I think this was my number 11 pick.
That's fair.
Yeah, like I didn't pick it just because I can't find any copies right
I
now.
bought them all. They're all of the
Yeah,
copies are
that's
belong to
why.
Daniel. I will say I did hate on a lot of the Universe Beyond stuff this year because there was so much of it. But a ton of it has really held actually good value. So people aren't really trading a lot of it in a lot of the time because they're good cards for decks. Like the Bender Water Skin's like $1.50 common, right?
Mhm.
That's a phenomenal card, right? The same thing like what's the Tifa still like at like a $9 card. There's a lot of them that are still holding their value very, very good.
Yeah.
What do you got, Slothy?
Yeah. So this is going to be the last Final Fantasy card that I mentioned. But we've got Black Waltz number 3. 2 black and a red for a 2/2 legendary creature wizard with flying and death touch. And whenever you cast a non-creature spell, Black Waltz number 3 deals 2 damage to each opponent. This is one of my favorite commanders to come out in a long time. It the fact that it just says non-creature, so you can build it like I built a Voltron style, an Aura style, spell slinger style. Like it's so versatile, and it's just going to be pinging everybody for every little thing you do, which is awesome.
Yeah. Well, 2 damage each opponent is a lot of damage too, right?
Hmm.
I cast Soul Ring, you take 6.
Hmm.
And then you can also, if you want to be mean, you can do all of like the damage doubler kind of things too, right? Where
Oh
it's just
yeah,
like, yeah, it's
like Torbren.
yeah,
Um,
Fire Emancipation, those kind of things. I cast Fire
mhm.
Emancipation, you take 6. I cast an Arcane Signet after that. You guys take 12 across the table. It puts out a ton of damage.
Oh yeah, yeah. Things can be over very, very quickly with this one.
If you could give this lifelink, that'd be a great way.
Oh yeah.
Like you said, if you got Voltron, you lots of options to give it lifelink too.
Yep. Lots of cheap options to give it lifelink at that, which is really nice.
True. What do you got for me, Sherman?
Let's go with this one. All right. We're going to go to space for Edge of Eternities here. And it's going to be the Infinite Guideline Station. It is Wooburg. So every single color that we have, 5 cost. Legendary Artifact Spacecraft. It's a 715. When the station enters, create a tap 2/2 colorless robot artifact creature token for each multicolored permanent you control. And it has the ability for station, where you tap another creature you control, put a charge counter equal to its power onto the spacecraft. Station only as a sorcery. It's an artifact creature at 12 plus for this one, because at 12 plus it gets flying, and whenever the station attacks, draw a card for each multicolored permanent you control. I have this in here because I just like the station mechanic. I
Honestly,
just like stations in general. I like the fact that we're in space. You know, the fact that we have Star Trek coming out next year or sometime. Okay, fine. It's a little bit overboard, but still, I like the fact that they established what it does, how it works, and everything. And it's every single time I face someone that plays a station, it's been a fun time.
Oh yeah, and like because this set kind of introduced the rule change with vehicles and all that being commanders as well, and that was just
That was
awesome.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that every time they make a change to the thing, it's just something I've been doing illegally the whole time. Yeah. They're like, oh, you can use legendary artifacts and vehicles as commanders now. And I'm like, we haven't been doing that? Whoops. My bad, guys. Sorry. The Infinite Guideline Station, the direction you went where you use treasures to make up the different colors, that was a super, super cool deck. I really, really
Hmm.
liked that one. Um, I like any commander that enables like such powerful draw, like a draw engine in the command zone is great. So that it's a very cool deck. I like it. I like Infinite Guideline Station. What do I got next for us here? let me pull out pretty much all of my stuff. Like I said, it's almost all back to Tarkir. But we're gonna go with another one of the dragons here. We're gonna go with Bador because Big Booty Bador is phenomenal.
Yeah.
I got it in the background of all these videos. It's a cool one. It's two and then Abzan, a white, black, a green for a 5/7 spirit dragon with flying. Beginning of your end step, if creatures you control have total toughness 10 or greater, you draw a card, which is pretty easy to get to. It's a 7. Then, if creatures you control have total toughness 20 or greater, untap each creature you control. I love it. You love to see it. Then, if creatures you control have total toughness 40 or greater, each opponent loses half their life rounded up. It's such a monster card.
Th-
Losing half their
This.
life just because I'm great at defending is awesome.
Yeah, like that commander's like kill on sight every single time. Like the moment it
Mhm.
drops, like you must remove it or else the game's over.
Yeah. Well, again, it's the generally speaking, a commander with power built in like this is it's the front of the turn, right? It's in the upkeep, the beginning of the upkeep. So everyone's got a turn to get around to it. If you guys were all tapped out and I drop this out, losing half your life, that can be like 60 damage I've spread out across everyone if everyone's still full. Again,
Mhm.
for not for attacking, not for doing anything cool, but it's 60 damage stapled with a draw, stapled with an untap for every card that I ramped it out with. Like it's an obnoxious card. I love Bador so much, and I really like
Mhm.
the. It's a great home for like tree folk and those like other big booty ones. Generally speaking, you kind of are forced into like arcades and stuff. I really
Yeah.
like this one.
Yeah, the toughness matters theme that this set had was really cool.
Yes,
I
yes,
was a
it was.
huge fan of that.
Yeah, that's why again, that's why Jaws of Defeat got the honorary mention on the side there because it's
Mhm.
so good.
Yeah, next up here we got one from the Edge of Eternities. Use social engineering. 3 double green for an enchantment. It's got landfall. Whenever land you control enters, create a 2/2 colorless robot artifact creature token, and it has warp for 1 and a green. This card was kind of I didn't pay super close attention to Edge of Eternities. Um, but then when I was building the Cabbage Merchant deck, I found this card, and oh my goodness, I love it. It's so good.
It's a very good uncommon.
Mhm. Like I really like the warp mechanic. Being able to cast it for cheaper than exile it, and then you can just kind of have it later if you want it. It's really, really nice.
Well, so many decks too are so many decks go into a landfall theme, right? And that's just
Mhm.
really cheap to get it up.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, dropping this for 2 and then doing something where you put down like 4 or 5 different lands and making 10 power of robots. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's not so bad.
All right, I'm gonna move us back here to Aether Drift. I know we all love Aether Drift. um, this one's gonna be the Crypt Caller Chariot. Okay, for 3 and a black, it's an artifact vehicle. It's a 5/5 that has menace. Whenever you discard one or more cards, create that many tap 2/2 black zombie creature tokens, and it has crew for 2. Now, I like utility cards quite a bit, and this one is just already really strong because we're seeing a lot of strategies based around discard. So when you're discarding stuff, you might as well get some benefit or some bonus from it, and this like gives you the benefit every single time you do what you want to do, which is discard. So the fact that like I've seen someone pump out like a dozen zombies in one turn, give it haste, and then just attack us. And I'm just like, okay, well, there goes the game. Like it is what it is. But this is something that everyone I think should probably like just have kicking around because it was a rare, but it wasn't that strong of a rare. Like people
Mhm.
just kind of didn't care for it, and it's like $1 rare.
It's especially with Rakdos, like a ton of the patterns that people tend to go right now in a Rakdos deck is you loot through cards, right? You faithless looting, you cathartic reunion, any of those kind of things. Turning that
Mhm.
like throwaway downside into 2/2 zombies every time is pretty monster, right?
Well,
It
and then there
it's
was that
very
new
monstrous.
mechanic.
Like, sorry, say that again.
I was just gonna say, and then there's that new mechanic they had in Spider-Man where you can cast them if you discarded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, the mayhem mechanic, which is really really fun. Like I have a Norman Osborn Green Goblin deck, and it is
Mhm.
very very fun for that. I will definitely say it's just the fact that you can go like crazy. Like there was like a someone that played Angie. What was that? Wasn't it the one where like
Anya fucking
it's
Ref.
madness? Yeah,
Mhm.
you know. So like every time they attack it or tap it to discard a card or draw a card, they're creating a 2/2. It's just like, well, your
Mhm.
commander already wants to do that.
Well, even if you're in a deck that overdraws, right? Like you've got you're playing just a Demir Surveil kind of deck where you're drawing a ton of
Mhm.
cards and then, end step I throw out because not every deck wants a no max hand size, right? I normally do because like I said, I'm greedy. I want to keep them all. They're all my cards. But yeah, like it's just it's a powerhouse mechanic. Speaking of, I guess we're on Aether Drift. I will speaking of no max hand size, I have no idea how to pronounce this card. Not even gonna try. It's VB. We're gonna call it VV Verbose Host. You guys try to pronounce that all you want. It's a homunculus. It's one in a blue. It's 0/4. It's legendary. It's Rego bait, and I love it. Start your engines if you have no max hand no speed. It starts at one. Blah 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 blah. You have no max hand size as a passive, which is cool. But with max speed, you would draw a card, draw two cards instead. I like that that applies to everything. It's not an except the first one you draw on your turn. This is just like a great draw enabler. I have a deck built around it. I've put so many into decks like my Rego kind of decks where I'm just passively drawing, and yeah, it's I really really like this card a lot. It's a stupid card and it's cool.
the the fact that you can like windfall and someone has like 7 cards and you draw 14 is just insane.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
it's super cool.
Um, and next here, I've got my one inclusion from Spider-Man. And it is more of a 99 card, despite it being a legendary creature. It is Spider-Punk. One in a red for a 2/1 legendary spider human hero with Riot. Other spiders you control have Riot. Spells and abilities can't be countered, and damage can't be prevented. This dude's an absolute house in group slug style decks.
Yep.
Like, sure, if someone's gonna go and try to destroy one of your things, there's not much you can do about it. But at the same time, you're pinging someone for sometimes 18 life just for drawing a card, and having that not be able to be prevented is
Well, a,
pretty fine with me.
a really fun thing is like in like a deck like your Ketis deck, right? Okay,
Mhm.
I'm gonna you're I know that you have lethal damage on me with your giant commander. I'm gonna do it. I'm like, okay, well, I'll Teferis. You can't get me. And then you're like, I play 2 mana Spider Punk, and then I crack you and you kill me through a Teferis because I can't. My life total can't change, but okay, I still take commander damage and die. No.
All because of this little punk.
Yeah. Yeah, they again like anything that doesn't prevent damage. Questing Beast, another great card. I love to play in a
Mhm.
lot of decks because no one really sees it coming, right? Especially if you've got prevent the damage, glacial chasm kind of lock, and it's like, all right, what's up?
Yeah, exactly.
The solution, Spider Punk.
I mean, there's also
Wow, we're down to 3 cards. All right. Let's stick with Spider-Man here. I'm gonna go with Spider Sense. So it's a one in a blue instant. It has web slinging for a single blue. So once again, web slinging. You may cast a spell for its web singing cost by also returning a tapped creature you control to its owner's hand. Counter target instant spell, sorcery spell, or triggered ability. I'm just happy to see something that's like this. And you know me, blue interaction. eh, If I'm playing like something like where I have like a Birds of Paradise, I can tap it for a blue, bring it back to my hand, and like counter something. I'm happy. But I'm in a happy place. So
Hard to thread assess around too, yeah. Especially
and like
because I think you're
even
tapped
if
out.
you yeah, even if you're tapped out, like not many people see something that counters a triggered ability.
Yeah.
Yeah, that part's
Like
really
like
nice.
yeah. So I like to do that to punish people that play blink strategies because sometimes with the blink strategy you'll have a card where it says like it's like a two-parter, right? It's like remove this, like let's say they cast out, okay, for three and a white, you target someone's thing, it exiles it. When cast out it gets removed, like you bring it back to the battlefield, right? And like you target their commander, like okay, I'll leave it underneath that. All right. The moment that enchantment goes away and they try to bring it back, you just counter the triggered ability because it counts, right? And now their commander's lost forever in the void. It's mean, but it is something that you can do.
It's hilarious. One of the funniest things you can do. Ending the turn when somebody's triggers on the stack. I love end the turn spells. When somebody
Mhm.
got has a blink their commander thing coming back and I just end the turn. Oh, you love to see it. It's good. It's good, clean fun. You don't get invited back, but it's good, clean fun. I like it.
For
I
that
will
one
give
time you're able to do it,
I
it's
will
really
get
awesome.
I will give you guys, yeah, that's funny. I will give you guys the one Spider-Man card on my list next. It is Electro because it's just mono red Omnoth, but on steroids.
Mhm.
Electro's one double red for a 2/3 human villain. For some reason, they gave it flying. That's silly. You don't lose red mana as steps and phases, and cool. Whenever you cast an instant sorcery, you get a red. Also cool. And when Electro leaves the battlefield, you can pay X when you do X damage to target player. This is a wonderful. I love to thread in the table, right? And it's a wonderful threat to be able to do that because if you exile it, okay, well, it's all coming at you, the damage. If you know what I mean, if you blink it, damage at you. If you destroy it, damage at you. I really really like this card to kind of hold the table hostage. It's a pretty silly one. The Sadly, there's not as much stuff to ramp it as green, but I like to play with a lot of those like tapped rocks that add a red, like the fire diamonds, those kind of things. And it is really nice to be able to just like consistently amp up my red stuff. I wish it got 1/1 like Omnoth did, but you take what you can get. You take what you can get.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it would get too strong if they did
Yeah, it
that.
for sure would. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a silly card. Yeah, I love it. Pair it with Omnoth, a legal commander that no one will ever let me play.
It's Christmas themed.
Come on.
You monster.
Yeah. What do you got for us here, Slothy?
Yeah, we're into the Avatar stuff now for my list. And two commanders left. First one's going to be Avatar Aang. Um, red, green, white, blue for a 4/4 legendary human avatar ally with flying and firebending 2. Whenever you waterbend, earthbend, firebend, or airbend, draw a card. Then, if you've done all four this turn, transform Avatar Aang. And he transforms into Aang, Master of Elements, a 6/6 legendary avatar ally with flying. Spells you cast cost Wooburg less to cast, and that does include generic costs. And at the beginning of your upkeep, you may transform Aang Master of Elements. If you do, you gain 4 life, draw 4 cards, put 4 +1/+1 counters on him, and he deals 4 damage to each opponent. I have had so much fun playing this deck over the last few weeks. Like, it's really not that difficult to be able to flip him and then dumping your entire hand because of the reduction, transforming him, refilling your hand. Especially when a lot of like the firebending, earthbend, like a lot of the stuff you can find for this are repeatable effects. So you can just kind of flip him back and forth once you get all four pieces online. It's it's so much fun and you're just throwing things around and Yeah.
I like it. It's a strong one.
Yeah, like I like seeing commanders like that where like you have to jump through hoops to get it to work
Mhm.
because it's challenging. It's a nice challenge, right? And you're playing suboptimally sometimes just to
Mhm.
pull it off. But it's fun because of that.
Oh,
It, it,
exactly.
it's satisfying. Yeah.
Yeah. And the fact that for doing anything, like any bending, you're drawing cards and keeping your hand full for when you flip them is awesome.
All right. I am going to continue with being a complete opposite. I'm going to choose Fire Lord Azula. I'm sorry.
Mm,
Have to choose Azula. I've seen it way too many times. I'm building one myself. I've built a few, like, in Architect and play tested them. They seem fun.
mhm,
Like, it's just something that just, like, sure, like, you can go crazy infinite on it. I'm not going for that, obviously, but you can do so many stupid things with it. It's just really, really, really outrageous. So I really like the this as a commander. It's so much fun.
Yeah.
mhm.
It's a very, very strong one. It's definitely popular.
Yeah, it's already ranked
And
78.
That's pretty good.
yeah, it's like Firelord Azula is insane. And like you don't have to go the Flash like way of going, getting like Layla in anticipation, Vidalcan Ori. You don't have to go that stuff. Like there's so many things that have flash, or you just cast like at instant speed. It doesn't really matter. Like one of the my favorite ones right now is Ragged Vein. It's like a one in a black enchantment or something like that, where you can cast it for flash, and basically like if the creature takes damage, it deals that much damage to its controller. So like you double
Mhm,
that up and you throw it down on like let's say someone's blocking me and I cast that and double down on the creature that's blocking it. Now that opponent's taking 8 damage. It's not taking 4 anymore. It's just taking 8. I don't care. It's so much fun.
mhm.
I like it. My next one that I have on our list here is part of one of my illegal pairs, but I won't say both parts of it, but it's the I really liked Final Fantasy for a lot of these cool little illegal pairings that I did. And
Mhm.
the dwarf wizards are really, really fun. I always make the excuse that they're dwarfs. It's half the commander. I get two of them. Come on. And I really, really like doing Krill with the next one. But on its own, I have one as its own deck too, and it's Papalmio to Ptolemy. I don't know if that's how you say it, but that's how I say it. And it's such a really, really cool, silly, silly card. It's one white, one black for a 1/2 dwarf wizard. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, deals 1 damage to each opponent and you gain a life, which is super, super cool because there's a lot of really annoying spells to cast in what's that color? The white and
Orzhov.
black. Orzhov, yeah. Just a lot of annoying stuff. Generally speaking, these drain strategies are normally in creatures, right? And being able to
Mhm,
have them in my all of my quick removal spells and annoying spells like that, and my ramp is awesome. Then you can pay 4 and a tap, sack it. Each opponent who lost life this turn sacks a creature with the greatest power among creatures they control. That's so powerful as a spell. The reason I pair it with the Krill Baldian Sin. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you can return target creature with mana value equal to spells from your graveyard to your hand. So I just keep getting my other commander back to my hand. They pair really, really cool. They're a very, very fun and unique deck together. Let me play them that way, please. But yeah, no, it's I really, really like playing this commander as it's on its own, and I like the artwork on all these. The Final Fantasy has some really cool stuff.
yeah. Yeah, Final Fantasy was a phenomenal set.
Yeah. All right, let's get one last one for everyone here. Let's see what else we got here in our last ones.
Alright. Last one I've got here is also from Avatar. We've got the Cabbage Merchant. 2 and a green for a 2/2 legendary human citizen. Whenever an opponent casts a non-creature spell, create a food token. Whenever a creature deals combat damage to you, sacrifice a food token. And when tap 2 untap foods you control, add 1 mana of any color. I've talked about this card in this deck a lot. It's awesome. I love it. It makes me happy. Um,
It's a
gives me
very
those warm feelings.
it's a silly one for sure.
It's so silly, and it just creates a lot of value because opponents are casting a lot of non-creature spells generally.
It is
Except
such
for
an insane token generator.
Mhm. And then you can pair it with stuff obviously like Academy Manufactor
Yeah.
and it just gets really, really, really silly.
Oh, it gets out of hand so quick.
And house, and you can make them all bears.
Let's go. Let's go. Don't leave your food out by the bears.
Don't leave your food out by the bears.
The Earth King is becoming one of my favorite commanders. I put that together. That's such a silly card.
Oh yeah.
Make my bears. Bears on bears on bears. What do you got for a last one here for you, Sherman?
All right. This last one has won me games indirectly, which is funny. And that's going to be Tifa's Limit Break. It's for a single green. It's an instant. It has the tiered system, so I can I have to choose one additional cost. For 0, I can cast it for the somersault. Target creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Or I can go with Meteor Strike for 2 additional mana. Double target creature's power and toughness until end of turn. Or Final Heaven for 6 in the green, so I'm paying 8 mana total. Triple target creature's power and toughness until end of turn. The first one I don't care, the last one I don't care. I care about Meteor Strike. Why? Because when my opponent's attacking someone else and they have double strike on their creature and they're not blocking for some unknown reason, and I double up the target creature's power and toughness, that person tends to die.
Well, or again, or you triple it. That's if you've got lots of mana late game. I wish that you could pay
Yeah.
each of these costs together. I wish that you could do the somersault because again, 2 +2 +2 for 1 green. That's not a crazy. That's less than giant growth, right? It's nothing insane. But
Mhm.
then 2 more to double, and then yeah, I would really like that. That's a very cool card.
Spree was like that, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you had Spree that was like that. You had the paw mechanic in Bloomborough. So like
Mhm.
we're seeing a lot of these kind of mechanics where it's like a choice constantly, but you have to like tack on like something additional. And I really
Mhm.
do enjoy those kind of mechanics. And the fact that like you're doubling someone's power when it's just really really fun, especially when you're not the one that's attacking. You're just causing someone else to kill someone by just because they're attacking.
Yeah.
It is hilarious. As someone who loves to like play budget stuff, right, which all three of us are, having those different options on cards is more and more valuable as time goes on.
Mhm.
Because card slots, there's so many like auto includes for a deck style, right? Like there's just a lot of like every one of us is guilty of saying it and hearing it, right? Like, oh, you're building that, you've got to put this in it. You gotta there's just so many cards that are phenomenal in decks. So having those
Mhm.
having more diversity in your in your single slots, like again the double, the triple, the single target for late game. That's again, that's one of the reasons I think Cyclonic Rift is such a bad card, like bad as in I hate it, is because of its utility of early game. If you really need to, you can get rid of something problematic. Late game, you can sweep the board. I hate its versatility, right? Versatility is always strong.
Yeah, like you don't hate it
And
because
not
it's a
only that,
bad card.
no, we hate it because it's used so often, in that like it's such like it swings the game so much in your favor. It's kind of insane,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah,
Right.
I no,
But
I don't
like
hate it because it's a bad card. I hate
the
it because
thing is
bad
with
people play it.
fair. But but the thing is with cards like this, where it's like it's uncommon, it's cheap. People tend to always cast things on themselves. We're selfish. We like
Mhm.
our interaction is very selfish. It's either I'm removing something from you, or it's benefiting me for in some way, right? Something like Tifa's Limit Break, where I'm casting on an opponent's creature and I'm doubling it up, and like they kill someone by just cause, it's to my benefit still, right? I'm technically using it for something else, but it's for like my gain in the end. It's sort of like how we were talking
Mhm.
last week about frantic search, right?
Mhm.
I can draw two, discard two, and I can tap three of your lands, Daniel, because you already told me you have a counter spell, but you're tapped out. So I need you to counter that one spell that Sloppy just cast. So let's just do it, right? I don't have to focus on myself. I can use my spells on your stuff.
Yeah, having better understanding of your cards and what they can and can't do is always going to really, really increase your own gameplay. And like you said, being able to, especially in a multiplayer format, being able to untap my lands to make better deals and stuff, right? Being able to people like we've said many times, people are greedy when they play. People want all of the damage in that they can get. So a lot of times someone's like, "Well, I got to attack. I'll attack Slothy because I attacked Sherman." I don't even really want to attack Slothy, but I don't want to just let my commander sit there, right? So I'm like, well, I'll just swing this at Slothy, and then Sherman triples its power, and Slothy dies. I I cast send Slothy to get snacks.
You know, I think maybe I should build another version of Dargo with a green partner.
Yeah,
Maybe have like three in the command zone: Dargo, Kedis, and something green.
let it ride.
Um,
Yeah,
just
there
so
you
I
go.
can
Do
put
it. Do it.
this in there and make Dargo a 21
Yeah,
15.
yeah, yeah. I don't like that. I don't like that too much. Speaking of 2115s, I'm gonna drop our last one here. For me, it has to be Felithar. I loved every part of Felithar, from the artwork, from the design of both of them, from the cool gigantic lizard thing that this Felithar is riding. I love all of it, and I really like Toughness Matters decks. They're unique and different. You don't normally see them, but Felithar the Steadfast is one in Abzan for a 0/5, which is cool. It's big booty Felithar. Human Warrior. Each creature you control assigns combat damage equal to its toughness rather than its power. So fun to throw into Tree Folks. Like I said, Tree Folk is a really, really cool, a lot of 0/11s. Creatures you control can attack as though they didn't have defenders. So we have Arcades, but with black, wicked. And then it just has this insane ability. Serena taps, sack another creature, draw cards equal to the sack creature's toughness, then discard cards equal to its power. A lot of times you're throwing away like a 0/7, a 0/11, you're discarding nothing, right? But if you did want to, you could pair it with stuff like that Crypt Caller Chariot, where you're constantly now getting zombies. You can go into a discard theme really, really easy with Felithar, or you can be simple minded like me and just go, I'm straight big booty creatures. I want to draw 13 cards and just kind of see where the day takes us. I've had nothing but fun playing this commander every time. It's such a powerful draw engine that people overlook. You generally get one giant draw, and then people realize, like, oh yeah, I guess I can't let him draw 11 cards on a tap. It's a really, really cool one. There's most of mine, like I said, most of my stuff has been for weird decks, right? That I like to play this year. But Felithar was just such a straightforward. This is how I want to play the deck. I'm pretty sure Felithar was the commander, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and it to me,
Yeah.
one of the crimes they did in Tarkir, kind of just as a little outro rant, is that other Felithar doesn't really fit well in this deck, and other Taval doesn't really fit well in the Taval deck. Like you had such cool commanders, and then you don't even give me a place to put them. Like and
Yeah.
then this deck, the other Baitor is the like secondary commander in this deck, and it doesn't make any sense. Like they should have given it kin to all, but they gave us like Baitor Ancestor's Voice. Which is that one? Yeah, Baitor Ancestor's Voice, which is a 3/5 flying lifelink. Beginning of your end step, you put a number of 1/1 counters on up to one other target creature you control equal to the amount of life gained this turn. Return up to one. That's not in the deck. What are we talking about? It's not a life gain deck, and it's just like equal to the life you gain this turn. Return up to one target creature with mana value equal or less than the amount of life you lost. This isn't a life lost, life gained. It didn't make sense. None of that's there. That's all. They should have given me good Baitor in it, and then they should have made a secondary deck where you did other Felithar and other Baitor together, which would have been cool. And the same thing, Codas also. The other Codas sucked. I just that's just a thing. It's such a bummer because one Codas was so cool, and then Codas number two was just like once during your turn you can cast a creature spell from your graveyard by exiling three other cards in addition to paying their cost. Like what a garbage mechanic. You got it. You have to lose 3 of the things in your graveyard and still pay the cost. 0 reduction on it whatsoever. And then whenever one or more creatures you control enter, if one or more, if they enter from a grave, you get a 1/1 counter on, or 2 1/1 counters on code. It's trash, garbage design. It's horrible. It doesn't even self mill itself. You have to go out of your way to rebuild self mill into this, and then it still sucks. It's horrible. I haven't seen a single person play Ketis or Codas a single time this way. This is like the worst card. This might be the, if we did worst cards of the year, this would be on my list. I promise you guys that. This along with everything in Edge of Eternities. I didn't even look at any cards in that set. Something about an angel that doubles tokens. I get it. I did at the face-to-face event, I did lose a bunch of games to the war mechanic stuff. I have no idea what any of those cards do. Yeah. That's the end of my rant. I guess the final thing I'll ask is, like, what was your favorite set of the year if you had to choose one? Like, what did you like the most?
Final Fantasy, hands down.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy, I think, was the best set of the year for sure. I like Tarkir because it was like the only Magic set of the year. I think it was. They're all Magic sets, I know, but I think it was the only. I guess you could call Aether
The
Drift.
the closest to theme in a sense.
Yeah. Again, I do think
But yeah.
I don't mind a lot of the Universe Beyond stuff if it like fits into the theme. Final Fantasy did really fit in. Avatar did
Mhm.
really fit in. A lot of people really like them and have built like cool stuff. I just
Mhm.
I don't even know if it's a difference of just like the amount of cards that are coming out, but the I don't know. I just didn't have as much fun buying Magic cards this year, but there was still some cool stuff. I'm still really hopeful for like Lorwyn and stuff like that. We'll
Yeah.
chat more about that a little bit later on. I am sure you'll hear a rant from me on that one at some point. But yeah, no, these I think it's like really interesting. Slothy's list is $43. But that's because the Cabbage Merchant is 25 alone.
Mhm. Hard to
Other
find.
Yeah, other than that, Sherman's is $30, mine is $30. We both had some pretty, like, all of us had pretty cheap favorite cards of the year. Comes up right to $100. If you want that $100, go to House of Cards. Build all of these, build all of them on houseofcards.ca, promo code IT99. It's gonna be great. Yeah, no, I'm happy to wrap us up there. But like I said, I really liked I really liked the list you guys came up with. You had some really cool stuff. There's a lot of there is a lot of good what's the horror set?
Duskmorn?
Duskmorn also was another set kind of like this year where I didn't really like a lot of the rares and stuff in it, but the commons and uncommons in it were like phenomenal with a bunch of it. Like there was just really good stuff. So there's a lot of, if you're starting Magic this year, a lot of really nice places to start building from.
There are so many good, kind of to piggyback off that, there were so many good uncommon legendary creatures this year. Because with things like the universes beyond, because there's a lot of named and notable characters in a lot of these IPs, they're all getting the legendary treatment,
Yeah.
but they can't all be rare. So a lot of these are getting pushed into the uncommon slot while still feeling pretty powerful and very fun and unique to build. So we're in a very good spot for that.
Yeah. Yeah. I like it. I say we wrap there. Sherman, you got any final thoughts for us here?
Nah, I'm cool. I'm good.
Any final fantasy thoughts? No, okay, I wrap us up. Thank you guys for getting through another one of these long rant episodes. If you want any of the cards we talked about today, go over to houseofcards.ca, promo code IT99. That's going to get you a great discount. It's going to support a great business, get you a wonderful discount, get us some support kickback too. It's win-win for everyone. Like, share, subscribe. It really does help us out the most out of anything you can do. If you want to directly support us, come over to Patreon, build decks with us, kind of play more games with us into the new year and stuff. I'm off for a bit in the beginning of the new year because I'm having a baby, so I'm actually going to be off work, so I'm going to play games. Shh, don't tell the wife. That's all the wife will be playing games. But no, other than that, we should be doing a lot of fun stuff in the new year. I'm really excited for what the next year's bringing us, and thanks to everyone who supports us. Come over to Patreon, like I said, and just kind of it's basically a pay whatever you want, kind of hang out with us, chat decks with us, and then yeah, if you want any cool sleeves to put your decks in, cool places to put them, nice playmats, playmat sanctuary, go over to Nerd Gear. Promo code IT99. The discount's going to get you a jack out too. They're wonderful. They're another Canadian company, and that's it. We give them the music.
All right. Laters.
Bye
Have a
bye.
great holiday, everyone.